My bitch right beside me. Work all in my truck, got that dump truck in my backseat. I'm a straight rider. Y'all niggas don't want that. Folks beat at your head for some dumb shit you said. Ride
600. Riding round with dope boy. Don't let me out tryna put that bow to your boy. When I hold the sap, get low, boy. I hit high, no football. I'm with the sits off good law. We smoke Swiss, Chris Paul, the hitman for my squad. I go get fat for my squad. Soup cup, your new cut like Sinbad for my squad. I ain't meant to use shoot practice that 10 man for my squad. You would get knocked off for the low, tryna pop off for a bro code. See, I'm hit at my show, ho. Then send it out to my bro. My new shit on Tukey. Jump tough, you stupid. That ain't loud, that's LV, and that ain't talking about Louis. On lawbreakers, I live like your mindset to get hit twice for the dumb shit that you talking. Bet when you leave here, you ain't walking. That's 600. No, it ain't even funny. Where the pound at? Slap your bitch to slip and dismiss her where we found it at.
Y'all niggas don't want that. Folk deep with your head for some dumb shit you said. Why? My bitch right beside me. Work all in my truck, got that dumb truck in my backseat. Y'all niggas don't want that. Folk deep with your head for some dumb shit you said. Why?
My team holla squad, and I'm in that bitch. And if that trick get out of line, I'ma clear her shit. And if these niggas talking action, and it's movies, bitch. We bring the lights, camera, action, time to do that shit. Catch me about that paper, catch me about that bread. One move from the squad, and catch you have your head. Catch me on that money, catch me on that grind. Catch you creeping out your crib, and snap you from behind. These niggas, they don't play. My squad be with that shit. Guaranteed every nigga on your team may get hit. Guaranteed every pistol that we told is gonna spit. It's a promise they won't find you. Have them boys come out and hide you. Leave your family right beside you. And that's cause I'm a writer. These busters, they don't want it, and I put that on my kids. My squad with that action, and that's the way it is. First lady in this bitch, guaranteed to get rich. Catch me out.
My bitch right beside me. Work all in my truck, got that dumb truck in my backseat. Y'all niggas don't want that. Folk deep with your head for some dumb shit you said. Why? My bitch right beside me. Work all in my truck, got that dumb truck in my backseat. Y'all niggas don't want that. Folk deep with your head for some dumb shit you said. Why?
I've been one of the realest. Don't give a fuck if you feel it. All on top of my business. Been killing shit, you be getting. Me and mine gon' get it. Done what it took if that did it. I'm law breaking to the day I go, man. I swear God is my witness. You ain't never seen another like me. So swaggerific and so icy. So wicked when a nigga flip it. Got these imitators trying to be like me. Hold down and come get some. One chopper rocket make a sick come. Somebody go pick up some fork for this nigga. Cause man on my mama this big done.
They looking but they can't find me. Got shadows creeping behind me. My squad can get real grimy. And I put that on my mommy. Got niggas eating whole face. Niggas invading your space. Niggas skeeting on your baby mama after shooting you in your face. We keep toolies all on board. Shawty, you don't want this war. We bring strong action, that lethal action, that shit you can't afford. Our hit is extra heavy. Drama will be deadly. So don't come packing that minor action, cause clearly you ain't ready.
What is good, Royal Family? What is good? It's been a long day, shit, you know what I'm saying? But I am back. Y'all already know I've been at work, so I just wanted to kind of catch up or whatever with you guys. Plus, I missed you guys, but I don't know how long we're gonna stay today. But I wanted to get these trials cleared. Far as the verdict, I heard that old girl got 10 years or some shit. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Let me queue up this shit, because it's the part that I couldn't do because I didn't want to have too many windows open. I'm gonna close this one too, but let me find her shit. Let's get her shit done first, because let me move this over in a second. I don't know like what y'all want to look at as far as it. I don't know if like her sentencing is on this one, but let's, you know what I'm saying, we can go to the verdict, because this shit's crazy as hell. Now, I told y'all about Umar Noor, right? Salute to everybody in the building. Fuck that shit. What's good, Derek? Um, Salute to everybody in the room. I'm just a little bit, thinking about shit or whatever. So if I'm off a little bit in this live, that is why. Because it's just a lot of shit going on, and not even only shit involving me, but like shit involving other YouTubers and shit like that. And the shit is like really getting old. And it's sad that it has to be like this. You know what I mean? I just don't know. So I'm kind of just, I was in Lee Q's live and I'm listening to all this shit, comparing it to the shit that I'm going through. Plus, other people on YouTube, like it's going the fuck down on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the fuck, but basically I didn't come here for that. And we're going to continue to do what the fuck I need to do. If I need to make any responses to anybody, it will not be on this channel. This channel is mainly dedicated to crime and being live and doing that and interacting with the royal family. I have gotten some emails over the last couple of days from people that support me and are just like, you're above this shit. Why are you even continuously explaining shit? Like I have to lie about having a sister or that's what happened. You know what I mean? The shit is ridiculous or whatever. But regardless, I didn't come here for that. So I just wanted to address that. And just in the door, you know what I'm saying? I had seen some shit that I really kind of just didn't like. So I responded to it. But you can find that information on Queen Supreme or Queen Supreme 369. So far as this trial with this Amber Guyger shit, I'm just really feeling like if she had only gotten 10 years, that's fucked up because Muhammad Noor that had shot a Caucasian lady, right? So it's kind of the role reversal in this situation. Not to pull race in, those who've been watching my other channel and shit, y'all know that this is not like my first channel, nor do I need to like clout chase to grow this channel or anything like that. But basically I just find it really fucked up that Muhammad Noor got 12 and a half years for the incident, which is very comparable to, I mean, it wasn't in the lady's house, but it was like she called the police to try to get help. You know what I'm saying? For somebody that she thought was being victimized in like the alley. I don't know if it was like a sexual assault or a physical assault, but that shit happened. And he got 12 and a half years and he's in a regular prison. Now, allegedly, this girl got like, am I wrong? She got 10 years. I was trying to listen to question everything, and then everybody just started going live at the same time. So I'm trying to like dip through shit. I'm fucking texting my sister. I'm fucking, handling business that I need to handle and all this shit. So I'm just kind of like, what the fuck? Kind of like, you know what I mean at this point. But I want to look into this, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that we're just going to stay with just the verdict part or whatever, because I know that Question Everything was looking into the trial, and far as I know, you know what I'm saying, I've never had any issues with mainstream media as long as I give them credit. Now, sometimes they might copyright claim it, but they're not striking it, but they're just copyright claiming it. So basically they get paid for that, but I really don't give a fuck because I just want to look at the case and they got it. So what the fuck? But I know that he had took the whole situation to TrueTube, and shout out to TrueTube for you content creators in the room. Make sure you check out TrueTube. And you can upload there. You can also, if you watch content only, you can watch content there too. I, at some point, will probably be moving more towards there than here because it's just better. In reality, it's just better. And I hate that I've been so busy and I couldn't upload more stuff lately, but I will be doing that. So basically, let's take a look into this trial or whatever, this verdict, I guess. And we also have to cover the Granville Ritchie shit. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I guess, like, I don't want to really look at it because it's kind of just like old girl crying, but Stacey Dash had been arrested or some domestic abuse altercation or whatever. If y'all wanted to look at that, let me know. If you do, press 1. If not, press 2. Is there sound? What do you mean? For what? No, I didn't even play it yet. Let me see what the fuck is going on. They kicked y'all out again, huh? This shit crazy. This shit crazy as hell. It kicked y'all out again. See, this shit is getting old as hell. And I think it's because certain people are flagging me. You feel what I'm saying? That's what I think it is. Or some shit. I don't know what the fuck is going on, but this shit is weird to me. But let's take a look at this trial. I'm seeing people are starting to come back in. It's either that or that's just the targeting that they be doing. I don't know. But let's take a look at this. Yeah, you were kicked out earlier, but you're back. Salute to Troll Killer. I don't know what the hell is going on with this shit with YouTube or whatever. That's why I want to move more to TrueTube because, yeah, that's why I said TrueTube. I want to move there or more there because I ain't gonna have these type of issues there. It's a stable platform. Even if they're not targeting me or somebody's not flagging me, then, you know what I'm saying? I just won't have to go through that there. And I could speak my mind, and that's what matters. So basically, that's where I'm, thinking or whatever shit. But we'll get to that point in a little bit or whatever. Let's clear these trials and shit and see what the hell is going on, because if she only got 10 years for this was this man's house. He wasn't doing shit but eating ice cream. She wanted to claim that she was tired, but now she motherfucking, you know what I'm saying, wanted to go work out after the fact. She had said on the stand that she meant to take his life. She administered double taps, which is 2 shots to the chest, which they're trained to do. But in this situation, she was foul as hell, and it was so many ways that she should have known that that was not her house. So if you're not familiar with the case, there's a little bit of background or whatever. Let's go into this verdict.
We all lined up. As soon as I get the signal, we can stand for him. You all may be seated.
I gotta turn the sound up. This shit is different than the last time.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The jury having reached a verdict, Ms. Guyger and your team, would you please stand? We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Amber Guyger, guilty of murder as charged in the indictment. No outburst. And it is signed by the presiding juror, who is juror number 11. Mr. Rogers, would you like to have the jury poll? No, Your Honor. All right. You may be seated, Ms. Guyger. We're going to take a break. You all will have a long lunch break today, and we will resume court at 1 p.m. Okay?
She just sitting in there thinking about her freedom, but she just had a whole year to herself and with her family and everything like that. She really... Like, this shit's crazy. But this is just the verdict, though, so I'm gonna have to find the sentencing.
Right.
Wait, how was she sentenced so quick, though? Somebody had said 10 years, though. That she had got 10 years. I know that she was found... Oh, this is the verdict. Right, hold on.
Everybody clear the courtroom, we'd appreciate it. Head out.
So everybody just breaking down in the courtroom, which I would expect that. Okay, I got the other one, but I just wanted to, if anybody wanted to see how she was acting afterwards. I'm just grabbing up the shit that I need. Who is this, though? Okay. I know that I got the other part, but there's a lot of little short clips up in here. This part about to be over in a second. It does seem like a social experiment, Nicolette. Salute to everybody in the room. I apologize if it be any bullshit far as y'all just get kicked out or the stream stop or whatever. That's what happens when I stream. So this is just how she reacted. She didn't really seem broken down to me. We can't see her face, but if she did do any crying, she cried just, her shoulders is moving, so it looked like she type of shit, but she trying to play victim right here. In reality, she really should have gotten way more than 10 years. Like, that's a light sentence for what she did, regardless if she was a police officer or not. But let's, because I want to go here. Since we got them already in credit, let's take a look at what the judge was talking about. This is Judge Kemp reads charges to jury during punishment phase of Amber Guyger. Let's just check this shit out.
Reads as follows. Members of the jury, the defendant, Amber Guyger, has been found guilty by you of the offense of murder. The court has received and accepted your verdict of guilty, and you will
So she could have gotten 5 to 99 years, but they gave her 10? Okay. See, I like this judge at first. But for real?
No longer concern yourselves with the innocence or guilt of the defendant. You shall now limit your deliberations under all the law and evidence in this case to the question of punishment, which it is now your duty to assess. The punishment authorized for the offense of murder is by the imprisonment in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice for life or for a term of not more than 99 years or less than 5 years. In addition thereto, a fine may be assessed not to exceed $10,000. Our law provides that at the punishment phase of the trial.
But this still fucked up though. I mean, 5 to 99 years and he gets 10?
Wherein the jury determines the punishment to be assessed in the case, the defendant may raise the issue as to...
Yeah, I know that. I'm just saying, damn it. Let me just be mad right quick, because I ain't really watch it. I was trying to, and it was a lot.
Whether she caused the death of Botham John while under the immediate influence of sudden passion or...
But are the jury speaking? Is there any members of the jury speaking out? Like, I want to see what they look like. What was a jury of her peers? You know what I'm saying? That's what I want to know. You know what I'm saying? Was it diverse? Or was it just, you know what I'm saying? Just what was going on?
Arising from an adequate cause. The defendant must prove this issue by a preponderance of...
Right. For real. For real. People get more for weed. That's crazy. And this man lost his life. He did not do anything wrong in this case. He could not have avoided this in any type of way. The door being like not hinged or not working, that was not his fault. He didn't have no warrants. He may have had some weed smoke in the air, but she wasn't there for that. She went there because she thought that was her house. So she claimed that she went there. But again, remember that she was going to go there. Bro, like, wow, bro. This shit crazy. And then with her partner and shit, so he just clear of that whole man's death. 10 years ain't shit. With good time, I don't know what Texas good time be like, but come on, bro.
The evidence. Sudden passion means passion directly caused by and arousing out of provocation by the individual killed or acting with the person killed, which passion arises at the time of the offense and is not solely the result of former provocation. Adequate cause means cause that would commonly produce a degree of anger, rage, resentment, or terror in a person of ordinary temper sufficient to render the mind incapable of cool reflection. The burden of proof is by a preponderance of the evidence, and that burden rests on the defendant. Preponderance of the evidence means the greater weight of the credible evidence. If you find from the evidence by a preponderance of the evidence that on the occasion in question, at the time of the commission of the offense, the defendant, Amber Guyger, caused the death of Botham John, while she, Amber Guyger, was under the immediate influence of sudden passion arising from an adequate cause, you will so state in your verdict and assess the defendant's punishment at not less than 2 years, nor more than 20 years imprisonment in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. In addition, you may assess a fine not to exceed $10,000.
Hold up, wait a minute. I just read some shit. What just jumped out at the page at me is you could be eligible for parole in most cases in 1 year, 2 months, and 8 days. And all I did was look up how much time do you get for a 10-year sentence in Texas, because I looked up some other shit and how they had broke it down. But now I'm seeing that how they had broke it down was the actual fucking way, because it matches this shit. An individual held in custody receives credit for his or her time in custody towards the parole eligibility date. For existence, if you were held in custody 6 months before receiving a 10-year sentence, you may receive, okay, never mind. Wait. Because up here it said, it makes it seem like you get 20 days, you can earn up to 20 days maximum per 30-day period of good time. Like, what? I don't.
If you do not so find by a preponderance of the evidence, you will so state in your verdict and assess the defendant's punishment at life or not more than 99 years, nor less than 5 years imprisonment in the institutional division of the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. In addition, you may assess a fine not to exceed $10,000. You are instructed that in assessing the defendant's punishment, you may take into consideration all of the facts and evidence admitted before you in the full trial of this case, and the law as submitted to you in this charge and the charge heretofore given to you by the court. You are instructed that if there is any testimony before you in this case regarding the defendant having committed offenses or bad acts other than the offense of which you have found the defendant guilty, you may not consider such evidence unless you find and believe beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant committed such offenses or bad acts, if any. The burden is upon the prosecution to prove such extraneous offenses or bad acts beyond a reasonable doubt. The prosecution's proof must exclude all reasonable doubt concerning the extraneous offense or bad act. Therefore, if you find and believe beyond a reasonable doubt that the defendant committed an extraneous offense or bad act, then you may consider such evidence in assessing the defendant's punishment. If you do not so find, or you have a reasonable doubt as to whether the defendant committed an extraneous offense or bad act, then you may not consider such evidence, if any, in assessing punishment. You are instructed that the defendant may testify in her own behalf if she elects to do so. But if she chooses not to do so, that fact cannot be taken as a circumstance against her, nor prejudice her in any way. The defendant has elected not to testify in this punishment phase of the trial, and you are instructed that you cannot and must not refer to or allude to that fact throughout your deliberations or take into consideration for any purpose whatsoever as a circumstance against the defendant. The length of time for which a defendant is imprisoned may be reduced by the award of parole. Under the law applicable in this case, if the defendant is sentenced to a term of imprisonment, the defendant will not become eligible for parole until the actual time served equals 1/2 of the sentence imposed, or 30 years, whichever is less. If the defendant is sentenced to a term of less...
So she eligible for parole in 5 years. This shit's crazy. Salute to everybody that entered the building. Much love.
Less than 4 years, the defendant must serve at least 2 years before the defendant is eligible for parole. Eligibility for parole does not guarantee that parole will be granted. It cannot accurately be predicted how the parole law might be applied to this defendant if sentenced to a term of imprisonment, because the application of that law will depend on the decisions made by parole authorities. You may consider the existence of the parole law. You are not to consider the manner in which the parole law may be applied to this particular defendant. You are instructed that in determining the punishment in this case, you are not to discuss amongst yourselves how long the defendant will be required to serve any sentence you decide to impose. Such matters come within the exclusive...
Well, she didn't do much, jail time or whatever, right? Because she been out this whole year or however long since they charged her or whatever. So she ain't going to have much jail good time. But, the judge just said that she has to serve 5 years before she's eligible for parole. But that still's not shit. 60 months?
The Board of Pardons and Paroles, and are of no concern of yours.
That's what you get where I live for 5 DUIs. And don't nobody even have to die. You just have to get caught drinking 5 times, and that's what you get. 5 years in prison.
You are further instructed that your verdict must be unanimous and shall be arrived at by due deliberation and not by drawing lots or any other method of chance, nor shall you add any combination of figures and divide the answer thereto. You are the exclusive judges of the facts proved, of the credibility of the witnesses, and of the weight to be given their testimony. But you are bound to receive the law from the court, which is herein given you, and be governed thereby. When you have reached a unanimous verdict, the presiding juror shall fill in and sign the verdict form that conforms to your verdict, and then announce to the officer who has you in charge that you have reached the verdict. Signed, Judge Tammy Kemp. And then the verdict form reads as follows. You may only select one. We, the jury, unanimously find by a preponderance of the evidence that the defendant caused the death of Botham John while under the immediate influence of sudden passion arising from an adequate cause, and assess the defendant's punishment at, you have to select the number between 2 and 20 years, imprisonment in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. In addition, we assess a fine of, you can put any number, 0 to 2,000. And then, of course, there's a signature line for the presiding juror to sign her name and then to print her name. Or, we the jury find unanimously that the defendant did not cause the death of Botham John while under the immediate influence of sudden passion arising from an adequate cause, and assess the defendant's punishment at, and there you will select either life or a number between 99 and 5. Imprisonment in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. In addition, we
so they could have given him her life, and they chose 10 years.
That's a fine of, and there's a blank, and if you so decide, you'll put a number between 0 and 10,000. And then again, there's the signature lines for the presiding juror to sign.
Yeah, we finna watch all that shit.
Her name, and then to print her
She
name.
hugged her and gave her a Bible and all this crazy shit. I was like, what the fuck? When I just looked like, wait a minute. Then the brother, he forgave her. Like, that's just, that's weird, bro. That's really weird. But anyway, we finna travel on down the road since we have them in our credits. We finna take a look at this shit. This shit is crazy as hell. I'm trying to look at all this shit.
If you truly are sorry.
Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry. I had to turn it up because the damn... Every time that you look at one of their clips, the audio be different and shit. Like, the sound guy don't know what the fuck he's doing. It's some weird shit. But anyway, let me just fix some shit. Alright, let's go.
I know I can speak for myself. I forgive you. And I know if you go to God and ask him, he will forgive you. And I don't think anyone could say it. Again, I'm speaking for myself, not even bad for my family. But I love you just like anyone else. And I'm not gonna say I hope you rot and die just like my brother did, but I personally want the best for you. And I wasn't gonna ever say this in front of my family or anyone, but I don't even want you to go to jail.
Royal family, this is suspect as fuck. What the fuck is this? I'm gonna play this again because, no. I'm not saying that he should have just been like, bitch, you need to die and da-da-da-da-da, but this is not normal. This is not normal for somebody to forgive somebody, 8, 9, 10, 11 months from the death of their brother, and he's just like, I'm not gonna say this, that, and the fifth, but I love you, and all this other stuff. And then again, bringing in religion, not to bully. Hold on, let me clear the screen with this. Not to bully or harass. This video is not intended to bully, just to bring the facts. In a lot of these cases, most of them, religion is used one way or another. And that's what I'm seeing here, as well as his ability to just forget what happened is not normal. I'm not saying that he should have just, humiliated himself and his family or acted a fool or said things that he may have regret. I understand that he's in a courtroom. I understand all of that. But this response is not normal. Let's listen to it again.
If you truly are sorry, I know I can speak for myself. I forgive you. And
now I can understand that. As odd as it may seem, I can understand that. Again, and I'm not here to bully or harass this family or start with some crazy, accusations or whatever, but conspiracy theories, if you look into them, they're real. However, I'm not saying that in this situation, but it's just really odd to me, his responses. But let's continue, because all he said so far was, I forgive you, which I understand that, because in my son's dad's trial and shit, it was about 10 months, and they said they forgave him. And the family, they said they forgave him. They gave him a hug, and they also said that they knew that it was self-defense, but the shit involved in the case or whatever was fucked up. So I understand that type of response, and that was basically about a year away from the death, you know what I'm saying, of said person. So basically that's what I'm saying. But just the response, let's continue with what he's gonna say next, and following it even after that, it's weird.
I know if you go to God and ask him, he will forgive you. And I don't think anyone could say it. Again, I'm speaking for myself, not even bad for my family. But I love you just like anyone else.
So he said he's speaking for himself, not even on behalf of his family, but I love you like I love myself. Okay.
And I'm not gonna say I hope you rot and die just like my brother did, but
I'm not gonna say I hope you rot and die just like my brother did, but that's kind of just a weird response.
I see.
Like, the man isn't even in tears at this time. I don't know, bro. Like, you just forgave really, really quick to me. I'm not saying that he should have wished death on her or tried to put a curse on her or said something crazy. I'm just saying this response is awkward.
Personally want the best for you. And I wasn't gonna ever say this in front of my family or anyone, but I don't even want you to go to jail. I want the best for you.
What in the fuck is going on? This just is not real. I don't even know what the fuck to say. Like, this response is not authentic. Like, it seems like this boy was pressured up here to say, I don't know, for whatever reason, even if it is real, like, it could be some of the responses or some of the stuff that's made during portions even of the trial could be, you know what I'm saying, staged or to look a certain way or whatever. I'm just saying, let's keep our minds open.
Because
right, Coco.
I know that's exactly what both of them would want you to do. And the best would be give your life to Christ.
Again, the religion shit, man. He don't know if she was a damn a Jesuit. I don't know if fucking know shit. Nothing really came to my mind, but Hebrew Israelite. She could have been something. He don't know what she is. You know what I'm saying? Well, Hebrew Israelites believe in Christ, but I'm just saying, like, she could have been a Muslim. She could have been anything. Just telling her what she should believe, that's kind of weird. I don't know. And then what's up with this pin right here? It's just kind of weird. I don't know. What's going on with that?
I'm not going to say anything else. I think giving your life to Christ would be the best thing that both of them would want you to do.
But I forgot, let me lay up, because, you know, down south is really religious and stuff, and I'm not condemning anybody for their religion, to be honest. But I just don't understand how you could just forgive that easy. Like, I just don't, it's not real to me.
Again, I love you as a person.
Like, is he going to ask her on a date next? Like, what's going on? He going to ask her to make a baby with him? I'm just saying, like, this just seems very weird.
And I don't wish anything bad on you. I don't know if this is possible, but can I give her a hug, please? Please?
What the fuck is going on, y'all? This is weird. And the day just gets weirder and weirder.
Yes.
What in the fuck? Then they run to each other like the damn tampon commercials and shit, running through the damn flowers and shit. Y'all see that shit? Come on, man. They embracing like they old buddies and shit. This woman just killed your brother. I get it, you know. And when I said a hug in my son's father's trial or whatever, it wasn't all like this. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck is this? They're like dancing. They're doing like the waltz or whatever it is. Look, swaying from side to side and shit. He's like literally embracing her and she's embracing him. This is weird. Was this for the cameras, bro? Then you got the lady, I ain't saying that she crying to be fake, but why? It just sounded weird. It just was really loud. Let's go back. That just didn't seem kind of awkward to you? And they go back for a hug. They release, look eye to eye, and then they come back in for a hug. Like they ballet dancing some slow shit together. I don't know. This is weird. I can't believe this shit either, Miss Meat. For real. Let me read some of y'all comments. He should have stole on her ass, for real. I thought that might have been what he was gonna do, shit. I didn't know about the hug and all that shit. But damn, bro, like, he just forgiving the fuck out of her is too easy. You could just kill his whole family. He'll forget you. He'll forgive you within a year. Just like the cop who started caressing her scalp yesterday. Wow, I gotta see that. Caressing her scalp? Oh my God. Right, I just cannot fucking believe this shit. Salute to everybody, man. I'm trying to read some of these comments before we continue, but this shit is crazy as hell. He in love, right? He show acting like it. He acting like he finna motherfucking go visit her every week and shit. Send her money on her books for commissary and shit. He gonna be there when she get out on parole and shit and move her into a brand new house. What the fuck is going on here, bro? She's like whispering in his ear, what the fuck is going on? Normally the judge would be like, okay, that's enough or something. Like, you know what I mean? This is a camera moment, y'all. This was for the cameras. I'm sure I don't have to tell y'all that because y'all ain't stupid. That's crazy. And she trying to act all affected and shit. Bitch, you just affected because you going to jail. Now, had she not have been a cop, they wouldn't have did that shit. They wouldn't have did that shit at all. That's some crazy shit. I don't like that. For real, though. This some crazy shit. All right, we finna see Judge Tammy Kemp embraces Botham Jean's family. All right, let's see what's going on with this. It's a lot of embracing going on. I mean, I feel it, though, the judge to embrace the family, but the whole part about her, you know what I'm saying, communicating or whatever with Amber, that's some crazy shit, you know, and then she gives her a Bible. Like, come on, bro, but let's see what happens. I don't know if we really gonna be able to hear what they say, but this is, you know, you can understand this, right? They talking, she giving her condolences and all that. That's normal. There's some normal activity. But what she gonna do next, what the judge gonna do next, and I like the judge, don't get me wrong, but I don't know. I gotta see what happens next, though. And then the long, inappropriate kind of, like, I understand if they just gave each other a hug, but the long embrace and the whispering in the ear and then the pulling back and then pulling back in, like, that just seems weird to me. But this is normal. If you have a respectable judge, I would say. Not all the time, though, do this happen. But if you have a respectable judge that, like, really care, whatever. And I need to understand also that the judge, you know, it wasn't finally up to her, though. You know what I'm saying? And I understand that or whatever. And she got to be fair. And then the cameras is in there or whatever. So she got to really be on her toes or whatever. I respect that. But I don't know about the other part. But we just gonna play this for respect for the family. You know what I'm saying? I ain't trying to present to you a conspiracy theory, but we're gonna observe everything that goes on. We still gotta get to Granville Ritchie, but I ain't even tripping though. Let's you know, dink around over here. I'm trying to see what y'all was talking about. Ann said, "Oh, girl was caressing her head and all this shit." I'm trying to see all of that. All right, this one is, come on, man, quit playing with me. Okay, this one is Judge Tammy speaks with Amber Guyger after trial.
Act is truly,
This
again,
shit crazy.
something I think we could all learn from.
It was a healing moment.
I hope it has that effect. I really do. Because I think he embraced the idea and the
So
concept.
she pulls right out a Bible and walks right to her. Come on, man, this is some weird shit.
Well, now the judge is talking to Amber. Oh my God, the judge is down there talking to Amber. I I just don't think I've ever seen anything quite like this. What do you think's happening right now?
See, even a newscaster lady, unless she was scripted to respond like that, I ain't calling this just scripted, but I'm just saying, like, bro, this is weird. Normally what the judge would say to the defendant would be while she's sitting up on her thing. Not all this extra. There's a lot of hugging. There's a lot of Bible bumping. It's just a lot.
I have no idea, quite honestly. I've never seen anything like this.
That's what I'm saying, Miss Meat. This shit is looking weird, bro. Then the 10 years. Right. Hell yeah, you could have caught 10 years for trees, shit. You never, man. People are doing more than that for a couple bags of dope. And they don't do all this in the trial. They don't allow for all this in no regular shit. It's just the police shit. This shit's weird, bro. Is that a sign he just threw us? This thing right here or what? Her mom's 66. Damn. She old as hell. No, I'm playing. She ain't old as hell. I'm just saying, damn. She only 30. Well, that just means her mom only had her like when she was 30 something. That's crazy though. See all this shit, bro, this is weird. What did she have to tell her that was so damn secret? Y'all already let dude just make her become religious and shit and all this. We don't even know if she had a religion. But now because dude got killed, I'm not trying to be rude, but Botham John got killed. You know, now this whole religious shit is going on up in here. Like, I just don't know.
Okay, so this is extraordinary. I feel like we're watching something that I've never seen before. I mean, this moment, the hug between Amber Guyger and Botham Jean's brother, and now the judge. It sounded like maybe she was reading a Bible scripture.
I feel like he's standing in the way so we can't read her lips, the judge's lips.
Or witnessing somehow. I mean, it's just oh my God, now the judge is hugging Amber Guyger.
Oh, this is just a remarkable, boy, Botham John is probably turning in his grave, bro. Just because he was religious don't mean he just like, you know, like they just want you to be all dumbed down and forgiving and all super kind and shit. But, bro, this is some bullshit.
Okay.
Somebody kills somebody in your family. You're not just finna 8 months, 9 months, whatever, just be, you know, trying to embrace them and shit. That's some weird shit.
This is, I'm starting to lose it again.
Well, and I think that the emotional aspects of his case,
right, true.
without question, is a tragedy.
Oh my God, this is
The
extraordinary, or whatever
aspects
she
of the
said.
case have led to the judge to do something that's very unusual, to have direct attempts to communicate with the family.
Shut the hell up, Miss Meat, for real. Not that you be coming in here lying or nothing like that, but she said, check this out. Her family name is Bishop, ties to Atlanta. Nature Boy was adopted by Caucasian folks in Atlanta named Bishop. See, I didn't know that, but I knew about the Atlanta shit. I knew about the barbershop and shit, but he was adopted by, are you serious?
Of the victim.
Yeah, it is, Candy. It is definitely corrupt because this lady right here is foul as hell. And she essentially just got off. Like, she's basically 10 years. That's just manslaughter. You would get 10 years in a manslaughter case normally. She only got to serve 5 before she get out. That's crazy as hell.
The defendant herself, on the record, and what I can only suppose is an attempt to try to start some healing for these people. It certainly is difficult. It certainly is extraordinary.
She just soaking up all this attention like it's still all about her. And even the prosecutors had stated that at portions of this trial that it's not about her, it's about the victim. And again, you know what I'm saying? They made it about her. Even the brother did, and the judge is doing it now. I like her, but she's catering too much to the defendant. This doesn't normally happen. Like, does she do this in every case?
It certainly is unusual. It is something
it really
that
is.
I don't know that I've ever seen before in a trial. This kind of direct communication.
And by the way, the my Facebook commenters are saying that the judge gave Amber Guyger a Bible.
And again, I think this is her attempt to try to let there begin some healing.
Begin some healing? Oh, really? Okay.
I'm really having a hard time
This
holding it
shit
together.
got me weak, bro. This shit got my stomach weak. Like, not like I'm gonna throw up, but just feel like my energy is just drained. Like, I only had a little bit left for the day, and now they just came and sucked that shit all up out of me. Like, what the fuck is this shit?
They're here because it's something.
There's a lot of powerful emotion involved in the case for sure, and anytime you see somebody,
shouldn't it be though? Shouldn't there be a lot of emotion? This man was sitting on his couch eating ice cream. This woman just came in here and blasted him. She didn't see the red rug. She didn't see fucking that this was not her apartment. She didn't even see that she had parked on the 4th floor and basically she was walking on the 4th floor. Even though the plan and all this extra shit, bro. Not the weed in the hallway, not the fact that the fucking TV light was on. You know what I'm saying? But bro, the story don't even make sense. They should have slammed her ass. 5 to 99 years and they picked 10. They must have just been arguing for a minute and then people were just like, all right, fuck it, let's go with what they say and I want to get back to my family or some shit. Because 10 years, bro.
willing to go above and beyond the easy anger.
I mean, we know she can't be a cop no more because she will be, regardless, charged. She was charged with, she was found guilty of murder, correct? So she can't be a cop no more, no security guard, can't be in the army. So, but regardless, bro, 10 years, that ain't shit.
Retribution, emotional reaction, that's inspiring.
That's
something
inspiring. From a Christian perspective, that's the Old Testament. The angry God.
Yeah, because we should just do this, right? We should just allow for somebody to foul our family members, right? And then be the cops on top of it. She was a whole CERT team member, which she definitely needed to pay attention to detail to do that. However, this whole situation, she just fucked up. She didn't get him any fucking real CPR. She was fucking doing the one-handed shit, playing around. She was all in the hallway to go find the fucking cops and shit when she should have been tending to him. She admitted on the stand that she deliberately tapped his ass in the chest. She tried to give him 2 shots. She tapped him in the motherfucking chest and tried to kill him. And what the fuck? 10 years, bro. That don't mean shit. Maybe we need to look at some other cases in Texas or whatever where a motherfucker just was fouled like that and only got 10 motherfucking years. You know what I'm saying? Any true terrorist in the room, if you could think of a case or you run across a case, please send it my way because I want to look all through that shit. Because I guarantee this is not happening on a wide scale. This woman got 10 years in this situation, if it was real, because she's a cop. And this whole act is only because she's a cop. But now I'm questioning the whole thing. I'm just going to be real. Freedom of speech.
From a Christian perspective, it's love.
No disrespect to the family, not intended to bully, but this shit don't look right.
Forgiveness and loving your neighbor as yourself. It's just, it's an amazing thing that we're witnessing in this courtroom.
And again, it true.
Whatever. Amber Guyger looks like she's about 50 or some shit. So that is probably about right. she probably, bro, we gonna get off this case before I state what I really feel type of shit. Let me just play they little clips. Now this one is Amazing Act. Look, the title of it is Amazing Act of Healing. Dallas County DA John some bullshit addresses the public after Amber Guyger's sentence or trial. So this dude finna speak. Let's listen.
As I said from the outset, about a year ago, this was a murder charge and not a manslaughter charge. I thought that was appropriate. Amen. And that is exactly what the grand jury and a Dallas County jury believed.
But 10 years and this dude look funny as hell. But for real?
Even going back to my campaign, I stated that was appropriate in this case because Ms. Guyger intended to shoot. She even told...
So, okay, even though you got her for murder, she still only got 10 years. So all you did was compromise and probably stood on some people's necks behind the scene, if this was real, to make sure that there was a compromise on each side. She would get charged with murder. However, she, you know what I'm saying, only gets 10 years when she could have gotten 99 years. She could have got 25 years. But 10? And then the brother and all this is just, you know, come on, bro. I thought they were going to start playing romantic music and shit.
That while testifying in her own defense, from the witness stand, she said, I intended to shoot to kill him. And that is murder. And that was the appropriate charge and the appropriate verdict in this case. So, thank you.
Can you speak to the concern about that 10 years?
I feel you, Patty. We will see if a white woman convicted of murder has trouble finding a job when she gets released from prison. Meanwhile, a black man with a misdemeanor for a nonviolent crime has trouble getting a job. We'll see. We definitely will. I probably know the outcome, not to bring race into it, but, you know, let's just be real here. You can't really avoid it.
Sir, I know this process is what the process is, but as you probably heard, many people voicing their concern about hearing only 10 years in this particular situation.
Well, Mr. Pickett, the only thing I can tell you is that over 37 years, I have seen so many cases. And to be honest with you, I have long stopped trying to guess what a jury would do. And I have long accepted their judgment. They heard the case, I didn't. We asked them to come here, and they listened.
Bro, this is weird.
And then heard it. Personally, I expected perhaps longer, but yeah. I respect what they did. They gave us their time. They gave this case their attention, and they reached what they thought was a just verdict. And we're going to move on. And I think the Botham family is moving on also. They accept.
Yeah, because you just seen that boy up there acting all sad and shit. But it was so emotional that they needed to embrace like that. But I'm not trying to bully, but I didn't see a tear.
Accepted. They have no reservations.
Man. Peep it all, man.
They've expressed it.
I know that Joy said she wanted us to get off this story, but I just want people to peep this shit. Plus, I want to peep it too. But this is sad. This is really sad.
About it. They're happy that this is done, that she's been held accountable, and it's done.
When you saw both of the brother hugged or asked the judge, begged the judge really
yes.
to hug Amber Guyger, what did you make of that moment?
In 37 years, I was trying to go back in my memory bank and to think if I've ever seen anything like that, and I don't think I have. I think that that young man was speaking from his heart. It certainly brought tears to a lot of people's eyes in my office as we were watching it, and I know it did down here in the courtroom. And I think that's an amazing act of healing and forgiveness that is rare in today's society and the society that we live in, especially for many of our leaders. That young man is 18 and he is a leader, and he should...
Right, plus the fact that they left out the whole Martin Luther King fucking tweet bullshit, and I know it was something about text messages, all this shit just makes her look even bad, and all she got was 10 years. I really just feel like, again, if this was real, that they just were worn out with it, probably couldn't come up to a decision, and ultimately there was some type of compromise maybe in there if they weren't already swayed in the door on what they were going to do for just the murder charge. Because then he still did his job to get reelected or whenever that comes, right? And he looks like, he's really doing shit. But in reality, it's still a compromise to her on behalf of the police. Like, you just got to remember that these people are all, like, connected.
Guide us in healing is what I think of it.
You see that, Mr. Cruzo, as a message to the broader...
Oh, I believe it. I believe a movie will be made off of this. I definitely do. And I think that this is what this shit is for.
Community that has voiced their concern in one form or fashion.
This shit.
I would hope so. I would hope so. If your 18-year-old brother can heal and express healing.
See? Programming. If your 18-year-old brother, that doesn't mean that every 18-year-old is going to do that, nor is that normal. So now they're trying to program you to be docile if somebody fouls your family to not at least have emotion. Now you're supposed to just rush to forgive and let it go. Like your loved one that life got taken doesn't even matter. And spend all this time trying to make the one that's going to jail for a really low sentence feel good. That shit's sick.
In that fashion, in his words and in his deeds, I would hope that the greater community, not just Dallas, but all of Texas and all of the United States, could gain a message from that.
Right, Miss Moore, this shit's crazy.
Am I concerned about it? I mean, everybody has a right to an appeal. No, I'm not concerned about it. I expect an appeal, but I'm not concerned about it.
Probably because he knows that one's coming and she'll probably get it. We're going to have to watch this case. But also, shit, how many women's prisons does Texas have? And do they have like a specialty closed custody area? 9 times out of 10, they still go to jail. Prison. But they're just like in a different custody if they were once law enforcement. But sometimes it don't even be like that though. Sometimes they be like, you in prison, nigga, shit. Yo, bunk over there, you know what I'm saying?
In the concept of the process you
So ain't no telling, everybody in prison ain't finna just be forgiving and shit. That's the thing. And I'm not saying that to incite, obviously, nothing. They ain't nobody in prison watching this probably. But I'm just saying.
In your office on public integrity to look at the issue of officer-involved shootings.
Yes.
What is the message to the broader law enforcement community who have suggested that this case was not, in reflection of the grand jury's indictment, a crime? What do you tell those people in the law enforcement community who have been pushing back using this case as an example?
Well, I think that any profession wants to protect itself. I don't care what the profession is. You all protect one another, okay? Let's be honest. But we have laws and we have processes and procedures. Since I've been district attorney, we have put in procedures to...
Yep, they want you to be Martin Luther King up in here. Not that I have anything to do with, against Martin Luther King, but Martin Luther King believed in turning your cheek. So shit, somebody come in and kill your family, why not offer your whole family up for said person to kill them as well, and then forgive them a year later?
Even tighten responsibility.
And then this dude gonna come, or somebody like him, and act like he's really doing justice. You could tell by his eyes he feel fucked up, because he knows that, in my opinion, freedom of speech, that he swayed this case somehow. But that shit, low-key, is just sitting on his motherfucking shit. It's sitting on his conscience. Look at how his eyes is. I don't know if we just caught him in the main thing, but he looks kind of turned down to me. Not saying that he just definitely cared, but it looks like he's burdened.
Responsibility of police shootings and their investigations and when they're given to us and when we take them to the grand jury.
Then you got to understand that it's somebody above him that he got to answer for.
You notice since I've been in office...
What's good, Dr. Bombay?
We don't hold a lot of press conferences. We just take care of business, okay? And so we get these cases to the grand jury. We let them decide. This case was taken.
Patty said, I hope they hex her so her anus and vagina rots out and she gets throat cancer. Hell nah. I don't think she gonna get much chill time up in jail. I mean in prison. I don't know, bro.
Taken to the grand jury,
It be
as I
going
said
down.
before I came into office. The grand jury made a decision that there was probable cause for murder. The jury heard it, a jury of citizens. They decided the same thing after the evidence. They were given many, many instructions to their benefit, which could have resulted in a not.
Bro, his face does not look like, I mean, I'm not even trying to make fun of how his face looks, but his face does not look like this is like it's sitting well with him, but he's burdened. Like I said, he's burdened with this. He had to do it, and by doing this, it helped him. It allowed him to keep up his word or whatever, right? Like he had stated, because he threw that in there. And then also, he was told to.
Guilty. They rejected those. They returned a verdict of guilty. I don't think there's anything to complain about when you look at how the case was tried and the instructions that were given that benefited her. And the jury has spoken, so I think that whoever's unsatisfied will just hopefully they can get satisfied. And in fact, I tell you what. If they,
excuse me? Is that how you talk to the family? And is that why they're like, I forgive you, I forgive you?
They could go back and look at that young man, embrace her, and see where healing is. If they can see his healing, maybe they can find some of their own.
Judge, you talked to the jury. You talked to the jury afterwards.
No, I did not.
You just try to play mind games like, well, the family forgave him, so you should, because you're not even family. You just hearing about the case type of shit.
Talk to the jury.
He think
No,
he's slick.
I did not.
Sir, could charges potentially be coming
Right.
Martin Rivera's way? There's been a lot of talk about his testimony on the stand.
I agree, Leslie. He looks tired, stressed, and burdened. Facts. Looks defeated. Facts. Man, we finna look at the rest of this shit. This shit crazy as hell. Alright, hold on. I guess this is gonna be the family speaking. Botham Jean's mother, Allison, addresses the public after Amber Guyger's sentenced. Let's see what's going on.
John's mom
See what the mom say.
Okay, both of Jean's moms about to talk.
Fantastic.
Country, changed my church, and I know that there are many people who stood with me and my family.
Second word out her mouth was like church. Come on, man.
Throughout this tumultuous journey. Yesterday, we saw the conviction of Amber Guyger, and today we heard the sentence of 10 years in prison. That 10 years in prison is 10 years for her reflection and for her to change her life. But there is much more to be done by the city of Dallas. The corruption that we saw during this process.
So you're just cool with them doing 10 years and you're just going to move on to, you know, and I'm going to call it an agenda because it's something that they concocted, but allegedly she's going to present or, you know, try to propose something or that they need to start working on preventing this, right? Which we know that, right? But they oftentimes give you facts, and people do this even on YouTube. They'll give you facts, and then they'll mix it all up in a big-ass bowl of lies and shit. So when you digest it, you're eating, like, you know, 10% facts and 90% fucking lies. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, bro. This is just kind of weird. And I didn't know that she had an accent like that.
Must stop.
Amen.
And it must stop for you.
Amen.
Because after now, I leave Dallas, but you live in Dallas.
Yes.
And it must stop for everyone.
Yes.
The contamination of a crime scene.
Right. Did they tell her, like, I don't know, bro. I need to just
that we saw.
Man, this is weird. I see now why I Question Everything wanted to do this on TrueTube, because This shit's crazy.
Coming out of this case
I feel like I can't speak freely on this bitch no more.
is one that must never happen again.
That's right.
The poor training or the poor use of what should have been training
That's right.
is what we see coming out of this case.
Yes.
That should never, ever happen again.
That's right.
Amen. And if this was applied in the way that it ought to.
Peep game though. Okay, so you got law enforcement in the back, but all these men got blue in their ties, right? And then she's wearing red. He's got a red thing in there. I know Botham Jean's favorite color was red and shit, but just think about it though.
To have been taught, my son would have been alive today. If Amber Guyger was trained not to shoot in the heart, my son would be standing here today.
He was no threat.
He was no threat to her. He had no reason to pose a threat to her because he was in his own apartment, in his sanctuary, in the place in which he paid a lot of money to be in.
So why are you not more angry? And again, I'm not saying that she should have came on the news all angry, but it just still seems like we hear this also every time that people are killed. We see this same thing, whether it's real or not, where people propose this type of shit and we're regurgitating the same type of speech because it's fact. We know that this needs to change, but nothing changes. And the basis of it is the symbolism that they're showing you and the fact that they want to make you docile. They want to allow you to just set your family out, and if they get killed, then fuck it. You know what I mean?
He paid rent to be there.
He also paid rent for that door to work. So if I was you, I'd be suing the motherfucking apartment complex as well as the police department. And again, everybody in there lived in there and they were paying all this money, and the fucking door in all their apartments was messed up. Like, that's just kind of weird to me.
He had every right to be there in whatever state he was in. Yet still, his privacy was violated.
Amen.
She intruded on him.
Yes, she did.
And that was not enough. She killed him.
That's right. Cold-blooded.
I feel you, Leslie. Me too.
Cold-blooded.
Our life must move on.
Right. Lock company. Right. Because Leslie just said I'd be suing a lot of people. And then Kelly said lock company too. Facts. Like, come on, I would have been suing the door company. Shit. If you could sue Moisture or whatever they were trying to blame it on, and they were allegedly getting moisture tests, but how long ago was these doors fucked up before, you know what I mean, all this allegedly was going to happen? Shit's just weird.
But our life must move on with change.
Then again, what if it was her house and it was a maintenance man in her house? Her responding like that, she just would have killed the maintenance man as well. You know what I mean? Again, we know that they need to stop using all these lethal tactics, especially in these situations where they come out to be wrong. But we hear this every case.
Right. You gotta fight first.
There's gotta be a better day. And that better day starts with each and every one of us.
That's right.
The city of Dallas needs to clean up inside.
Amen.
Right.
The Dallas Police Department has a lot of laundry to do.
Every police department, but HPD too. So shit, big part to Texas, not to bully Texas or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, like I said, every police department, but you know, again, the same statements.
The Texas Rangers need to know who's on board.
The dude from the Texas Rangers was dirty too, though. Didn't he have a vehicular homicide?
And every single one of you, citizens of Dallas,
Will Smith looking dude,
and residents of Dallas, need to know what to do to get your city right.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you. No questions. Thank you.
No questions. No questions. Can't ask her no questions. That was just kind of weird. All right, let's see what's going on.
But I also want to now talk a little bit
All
about.
right, Judge Tammy Kemp gives Amber Guyger a Bible to take to prison. Let's see what she talking about. We already just seen that, but let's just see this one clip because then we're
About more
caught
of what
up.
happened in the courtroom, because right after you saw the hug and the embrace with both them.
I just want to see what she gonna say. Like, was it awkward to her? Was she the one saying, "Oh, that's weird," because it didn't really sound like her? But let's just see what she got to say or whatever, because that shit was weird.
John's brother and Amber Guyger. You also saw some extraordinary grace extended by the judge.
Yep, and she could write a book. Like, she could do all type of shit and come up off of this case as a murderer.
And
you
so
see that man just knock all into her like.
Jason Trahan was actually inside the courtroom, and I want him to tell you exactly what the judge told Amber Guyger, because it was quite incredible.
Well, Rebecca, that was one of the. I've never seen anything like that. 20 years covering courts. After Botham Jean's brother got permission from the judge to hug Amber, which was extraordinary, and all the deputies, they had no clue how to handle that because that's a security concern.
It was extraordinary. I would say a couple of things about it, but extraordinary wouldn't have been the words that I chose.
But once she gave that permission, the whole tenor of the courtroom changed. Then the judge went down off of the bench and talked to the family, and then she went over and spoke directly to Amber, and then she got down and spoke to her in her ear, and then she got upset and she left the courtroom. This is the judge I'm talking about. The judge returned with a book in her hand, and she said, "Amber, I have 3 or 4 of these Bibles. I want you to have this." And she gave her one of her Bibles to take with her into jail. And then she started to talk to her about the Bible. And the judge said, "This is your job while you're in custody." And she turned to John 3:16 and said, "This will strengthen you." And then began instructing her on how she should comport herself over the next 10 years. And everybody in the courtroom is just standing.
Hell nah, Joyce. That hug in the Bible is black magic. Amber gonna drop dead in 24 hours. I would, man. You might be right. Shit, she probably did some crazy. She probably did some crazy shit over that Bible. You never know. Oh, they got my ass. Here they go. This shit is crazy. Come on, bro. And we ain't even got up to motherfucking no time yet. Like, come on, bro. Let me see. Let's go back. Let's try to go back. Yep, it's doing it again. We got to shut down and come back. I'll be back in a couple of minutes. This is what they do to my live streams, I guess, now. Now they're doing it at an hour. It was 3-4 hours, but now it's motherfucking after an hour. So I'll be right back.